In this video, I'm going to talk about the good and the bad of religions, and I'm also going to talk about an issue that I used to have with Kim Goguen. I don't know if she still does this, but she used to say something when it comes to religion that I didn't like, and I'll explain that when I talk about what she used to say. And I'm also going to show you guys a comment from my Odyssey page because there was somebody that left a stupid comment. I wasn't going to talk about it, but before I started recording the video, I saw the comment on my Odyssey page, and I decided that it would perfectly fit into this video and what I'm talking about. But before I get into all of that, if you like, comment, subscribe, share where you can. If you want to support my Patreon, the link is in the description below. Without further ado, I'm going to get started. Most religions, like the ones you're seeing on the screen right there, if you're looking at the screen, they have rules or laws or commandments or whatever you want to call it that were introduced to humans by whatever God they worship, right? If you follow one of these religions, then you know, and most of the world follows some kind of religion, then you know what your God or your Bible or your Torah, whatever your book is that you study or you follow, what your rules are, what your God has told you that you need to believe in, right? The Quran, whatever you guys read, right? And everyone has their rules, but for the most part, what I've noticed from talking to a lot of people is that the main concept of all these rules and books and basically the religions is to be a good person, right? To try to do good things. And most of these rules or commandments, I really don't have an issue with. And I'm going to talk mostly about Christianity because that's the one I'm most familiar with. So I'm going to touch more on that than the others, but I'll talk about all of them. But anyways, the main overall idea is to be a good person, right? And I don't have an issue with that. However, my issue is that there's always this threat of God or Allah or whoever you worship that if you don't do what they have instructed you to do, you're going to go to hell. You're going to be tortured for eternity. You're going to suffer. They're going to punish you. They're going to whatever. Like I said, let me stick mostly to Christianity. There's going to be this vengeful God, wrathful God, whatever, that's going to basically drop the hammer on you if you don't do what he wants, right? And that's my issue with the whole thing right there. Because what that does is it turns humans into sheep and cowards because they're so afraid of disobeying their God that they try, and this is what's ironic about it, they try to follow the religions to a T, but they don't. They don't even follow some do, don't get me wrong. There's some extremists and zealots out there that will literally die for their religion. But again, back to Christianity. And just before I continue, because I want to make this clear, I've met a lot of good Christian people. So don't get me wrong. If you're a good Christian and you're following your faith and it works for you, by all means, believe whatever you want. I always tell people on my channel, believe whatever you want. That includes religion. If that's what you want to believe and it works for you, great. Go ahead and do it. It doesn't work for me. I'm not telling you to do what I do, right? Just do whatever you want. Believe what you want. Believe me. Believe yourself. Believe God. Believe whoever you want. Believe whatever you want. Okay? Everyone has to make that decision for themselves. But I've also noticed with Christians that a lot of them are hypocrites and they don't really follow the book or the religion to the T as they are instructed by their own God or whatever they want to believe, right? And what's funny about that is what they do, what I've seen, basically every Christian that I've ever met in my entire life, and I've met a lot of them. I grew up in Christianity. They pick out from the Bible what works for them and fits their life, and then they go with that. Whatever it is, whatever works, whatever drew them to the Bible, drew them into the religion, they get stuck in that. And that's all they think about. That's all they care about. And when you talk to them about the Bible or religion, they only talk about the things that work for them or what they understand or what makes sense to them. And then when they don't understand something or they don't want to go back and forth with you because they know they're going to be wrong, they'll say, oh, well, that's what God would want, or who am I to say, which this is the killer right here. Who am I to say what God would want, or I can't change God's words, or I can't understand God fully or whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, if you can't understand God fully and you don't know what you're talking about and you don't want to change the words that God said, first of all, why are you changing the words? And second of all, why are you reading something you don't understand? How are you going to know what you're going to do or what you're supposed to do if you don't understand it? And then you can't speak for God and you're not God, yet you're trying to tell me something. So if you're not God, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a preacher, pastor, the choir boy. I don't care if you're the Vatican. I don't care if you're the Pope. I don't care who you are. If you're not God, you are not qualified to tell me anything about religion. And I should never listen to you because you're not God. You can't speak for God. You're not going to convince me that because humans ordained you to be in the position you're in the church, that means that was God's work. No, that's the role that you were given by humans that have decided to let you be in that position. It's just like an election, right? You know, the fake elections. Well, we supposedly choose the people that are supposed to control us, yet that's not really how it works. But let's just say that is how it works. So we choose the people that are supposed to be in that position. They don't choose themselves, and God doesn't choose them, even though even in government they try to say this, so help me God and all this other bullshit. But in reality, the real truth is that they were chosen by the demons and the aliens that control the world, right? But they want us to believe that we chose them, okay? So it's the same thing with religions. When you have these people that are the Pope, the Vatican, whatever, right? It doesn't matter who. You can go down the street to your local church, because I've heard people say, well, I don't believe that person, or I think the Pope is full of it, or I don't believe what the Catholic Church is doing. But it doesn't matter who you believe is doing what. Because let me tell you guys a story. I met a guy about 10 years ago, right? Great guy, good guy. One of the best people I've ever met. But he was so much into religion, so much into the Bible. And he really wanted me to go to church with him because we were talking about religion and stuff like that. And what was bothering me about him, even though I liked him and he was a good guy, he didn't want to listen to anything I had to say. If it wasn't in the Bible and he wasn't talking about it, he didn't care what I had to say. So that's where it becomes like, is he really a good person? Because I'm like, okay, first of all, I've already heard this stuff before because I grew up in religion. So I already know what you're talking about. And second of all, how are we supposed to get to some kind of common ground and understanding if you don't want to listen to anything I have to say, or you don't want to even see any other sources that I have to introduce to the conversation? It's just whatever you want to say, and I have to listen to you. Now, he's a good guy, not necessarily a smart guy, but he's a good guy. He wasn't dumb. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't dumb by any stretch of the imagination, but he wasn't necessarily the smartest guy either. He's definitely not smarter than me. So when I have people with room temperature IQ or just barely above average IQ trying to tell me something about anything, doesn't matter what it is, especially with religion, because that's what it seems like. It seems like most of the people that are religious are pretty stupid. That's why they follow the religion, because they don't know what to believe in. They don't know what the truth is. All they know is, well, there's this book and I can read the book and that means I know everything. I'm with God now. That's not how the shit works. But that's what they think, right? Because they're stupid. But anyways, and if you're religious and I offended you, sorry. It's the best I can do. But anyways, so the problem with this guy is that he was so much into this religion and all of that. And I hadn't been to church in years, since, I don't know, a long time. So up until that point, about 10 years ago, when I was talking to this guy, I hadn't been to church in probably 5 or 6 years before that, or maybe even longer. And he wanted me to go to church with him because he was trying to convince me that the shit was real. He was like, this is real. You need to come to the church. You need to see how the people are, blah, blah, blah. And this is where people get confused. I'm like, okay, Just because you're a nice guy and there are a lot of nice people at your church, that doesn't mean anything. That just means that there are a lot of nice and good people that follow this religion. It doesn't mean that the religion made them that way. Because if they were an evil person, even if they followed a religion, they would still be an evil person. They just happen to be good people, and the religion helps them maintain that. It doesn't make them good. It helps them to maintain it. But if you're a bad person, you're a fucking bad person. Now, I'm speaking in, extremes here, but of course there are cases here and there, but I hate when people do this. Well, not everyone's like that. Some people were bad and then they became good people when they follow religion. Yeah, no shit. Not everything is 100%, right? There's nothing in the universe that's 100%. So I'm not saying, oh, well, everybody that's religious now, they were always a good person. No, some people were bad people and they turned to religion and became good people. It happens, right? Shit happens like that. But I don't want to focus on the exceptions, right? I want to focus on the rule. And the majority of people that follow religions are already good people. The majority of humans are actually good people, believe it or not. It may not seem that way, but they are. The problem with humanity is not how good are humans, it's that they're gullible and ignorant and they fall for shit and then they can easily be turned evil. That's the problem with humans. Humans are very stupid. So it's easy to trick them and fool them and to make them do evil shit. And the demons that control the world, the aliens, whatever, they already know that. So it's easy to manipulate humanity, right? So I went to church with this guy because I wanted to humor myself and I wanted to see if what he was saying was legit. I knew it was bullshit, but I was like, fuck it. He's a nice guy. We're cool, whatever. Let me go and humor this guy and humor myself, right? Let me see what the fuck he's talking about. I go in there and it was one of the biggest mistakes of my life. It wasn't a bad experience per se, but it was bad. Like, it wasn't the worst thing to ever happen. Let me say it in a better way. It wasn't the worst thing to ever happen to me, but I regretted it very much. Let me say it that way. Because not only was what I knew about it the truth, but then it was just reinforced. And it was like I was being punished for going there knowing that what I was walking into was bullshit. So I was like, well, shit, I put myself in this situation by trying to be a nice guy and humor this guy and not be an asshole to him and tell him he was full of shit. So I go to the church and I go see all these people doing the shit. And the head of the church was an asshole. And he was enjoying torturing the people that were there. And the way he did that was he made everybody like get on their knees for like, it felt like an hour. It really felt like an hour that we were doing that. It was a long time. And I was sitting there on my knees like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I even here? I know this is dumb, but yet I'm doing it. And this is the head of the church, right? And this is why I say it doesn't fucking matter who you guys think is legitimate, right? Whether it's the Pope or the head of your church or whatever. Because people say, oh, I don't follow that guy. This doesn't matter who the fuck you follow, okay? These people are all full of shit, okay? Bottom line. They use the religion to control people, period. The ones that get up there, and I'm not saying that, again, I'm not saying all of them are like that, but a lot of them are. At least a lot of the ones that I've come across in my life. But if you talk to these guys outside the church, right? If you meet these guys walking down the street, you'll swear they're like the nicest person you've ever met. But then when they get in that church, it's like something literally possesses them. And they feel like, oh, I have this power over these people. I can do whatever they want. And I can guarantee you, it's not God taking over. I'll say it that way, okay? God's not possessing these people. God's not working through these people. If anything, it's the goddamn devil, all right? I'll say it that way. So, after that experience, I was like, well, shit. I've always known this was how things were, even as a kid. Yet, I went through it again as an adult because I wanted to solidify my beliefs in what I knew was the truth, which is religions are bullshit. Not everything in them. Let me be very specific. Not everything in religions is bullshit. There are a lot of good things that come out of it. And a lot of good people follow these religions. But for the most part, you don't need it to be a good person. All you need is the morals, right? Like, as long as you follow the morals or the laws, commandments, whatever, then you're good. And you don't need a religion for that. You don't have to be religious to be a good person. And that's the problem that people, especially religious people, right? They really have this mindset of, if you're not following my religion, you're a bad person. Something's wrong with you. Not everyone's like that. Again, not everyone's like that, but a lot of them are. All right. So back to my issue with religions. So again, this problem where if you don't follow what God said, you don't believe in God, or and there are a lot of examples, especially in the Bible, of God doing evil things, then you're a bad person. You're going to hell. That's a big problem for me, right? And I don't like that part of it because it turns people into scared sheep or whatever. And then they act irrational and they don't think. They're just like, well, I'm scared of this happening to me. It's like a scared animal or a cornered animal. That's what it is. Because they're scared of what will happen if they don't do this thing. And a lot of people, they're lazy. They don't want to take responsibility for their lives. So they'll put it on their religion or whatever to save them, quote unquote, or cleanse them or whatever, right? Repent. They think that they're going to get out of their karma or whatever, right? And they're going to be able to live their lives in a good way. And a lot of them do. I'm not denying that. But at the same time, they're guaranteed going to heaven or whatever. And that's not how it works. Because there is no heaven and there is no hell. None of these things exist. But you can make them exist if you want them to exist. If you really believe in these things, they will exist in your afterlife. And you will go to the place where you thought you would go. But it's not going to be a real place. It's just going to be something that you manifested with your own thoughts, your own power, your own imagination. And that's where you will end up. Your soul will end up in a place like that because that's what you wanted to happen. But I can guarantee you, heaven is really not something that exists. I'll say that. Not in the way that people think. Hell, well, shit, there's hell on earth. I mean, you can look at hell all over the place. You don't have to go to a magical, imaginary place to see hell when you can look around you. But heaven as a concept only exists in one place that I know of, but not in the way that people think of heaven, where there's God and angels and stuff like that. It's not like that. And I'll explain that towards the end. A lot of people, again, back to the people that try to convince me of religion, they're very stupid and they don't know anything. Most of them only have read the Bible and that's their only source of knowledge. And that's another thing that I don't like about the Bible is that, or the Quran or these other books. It's like these books were designed to entrap people into just believing in those books. It's like you better only listen to this book. If you go outside of this book, you're going to hell. That's how it is. So a lot of people read those books and they're stupid and they close off their mind to learning anything else. And they think they know everything because they read this one fucking book. And then they tell someone like me who's not only read that book, but I've read other books from other religions and other books from other civilizations and other cultures and beyond the earth, because I have universal knowledge, not just earthly knowledge. And you're trying to tell me about your one little book. And I'm like, are you fucking joking? What the fuck do you think you're going to tell me? And I'm going to show you guys somebody that tried to do that in a second. But yeah, these books, they've been written by men and then altered by demons and aliens for better control over humanity. Because the demons control all the religions, all the governments, everything. The countries, societies, corporations, whatever you think controls the world, these demons are in control of that. So they've altered the religions and they've made adjustments like God doing evil things, blah, 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 to make people scared so that they will follow those religions and basically not evolve spiritually or mentally. They're stuck as a mindless zombie that only believes in this nonsense that's not true. And some of it is true, but most of it is not true. And that's all they care about. And what makes it untrue is that it's been altered. So I need to emphasize that. A lot of things that were true in the Bible have been altered, so now they're not true anymore. That's the issue. When you have something that's been tampered with, it's no longer credible. But people still believe in this shit, and they think they read the Bible as it's written, and they're like, well, this is what it is. Not to mention there's like a million different Bibles out there, right? So I'm like, so there's all these Bibles, different versions, and yet you want me to believe that the version that you decided to study or believe in is the right version just because you said so? Not to mention you're not God, and you didn't write the book. So who are you to tell me if this is the truth or not? Unless God himself talks to me, I don't need any human to tell me anything. I don't give a fuck what their little human title is that they gave themselves. I don't care how much money they're stealing from their community because they're a pastor at their church. I don't give a fuck about that. That means nothing to me. If you're human, you're not qualified to tell me about the Bible or God. Period. So get over your fucking self. Get real. Be real. And the arrogance that humans have really sickens me, because even I, who has more knowledge than them, is not telling you to just believe me. I would like for people to believe me, but I'm not arrogant enough, and I'm pretty fucking arrogant, to tell you guys that I know everything and I have all the answers. Only listen to me. I tell you guys, I always say, believe what the fuck you want. Believe whatever you want to believe. That's your choice. That's your decision, right? You know why I say that? Because I'm not fucking God. I'm not the creator of the universe. I'm not the creator of everything. So why would I tell you guys to listen to me? I have enough sense to know that. I want you to listen to me, but I can't make anyone listen to me and then act as if I'm God. And if you don't listen to me, then you're going to hell. You're fucked. No. Everyone, this is the way I see it. Everyone makes their bed, and then you lay in your bed. That's the best way I can put it. You believe what you want. You follow what you want to follow. You lead yourself to where you want to lead yourself. I'm not leading anyone anywhere. I don't have a cult. I don't have a religion. I have this little YouTube channel, right? With a few hundred followers. That's about it. That's all I got. And you guys follow me if you want to or not. That's your decision. But I'm not making a cult or an organization around my YouTube channel. It's just me putting out information. You guys do what you want with it. But yet you have other people who have the nerve to come to me. And I'm going to show you guys this person. And he's not the only one. There have been many of these people. Many of these people that come to me and try to tell me something like they're the authority on something. I'm like, who the fuck are you? You're literally nobody. You're not going to come and tell me anything. I'm speaking and I'm saying things. You listen or not. It's up to you. But anyways, another thing I want to talk about with religions is look at all the wars and killing and disasters. People kill themselves over their religions. Things that... This is what I don't understand. Especially in the Middle East. You kill yourself over your religion. Because your religion told you to kill yourself. Yet men wrote your book. Your gods, your Allah, whoever you believe in, worship, doesn't exist. Never did exist. And you've been lied to. So you're killing yourself over a lie. And you're not going to heaven. You're not going anywhere. You're going to get reincarnated and brought back into this hell. That's what's going to happen to your ass. Probably in a worse life than you had before. But you're not coming back into a better place as you think you might, because you killed yourself in the name of your religion because you thought you were doing the right thing. That's just not how it works. From everything I study, that's not how it works. And I just told you guys how it works. But again, believe what you want to believe. And if you die for a religion, then you're dead. Whatever you believed in goes with you. So guess what? Whatever you believed in and yourself means nothing anymore. Because you're not there to reap the rewards or enjoy whatever triumph you thought you had by killing yourself is gone with you. And then you're going to come back in another life and not even remember that you killed yourself for no reason. And then you're probably going to do the same dumb shit again because you forgot you did it the first time. But whatever. That, again, You make your bed, you lay in it. That's what I believe in. You choose your path. Whatever you decide you want to believe in, and then you do that, that's your fault. Nobody to blame but yourself. And if you're good with living that way, that's on you, right? But anyways, I've talked to gods. I've talked to entities from beyond this world. I've talked to the gods of the world. I've talked to the entities that people worship. So I know these entities. That's why when a human comes and tries to tell me something, I'm like, how are you, a little human, going to tell me anything when I've talked to entities beyond anything you can imagine? So it's just funny to me, right? And I have a pretty good grasp of the universe and what's out there. And I can assure you that humans are the dumbest creatures that can be called humanoid that exist. As a humanoid form, humans are the dumbest creatures by far. They believe anything, usually the wrong thing, and they're unwilling to change their minds to listen to the truth. Hence why I have so many problems in this world, because I'm all about speaking the truth, and humans don't want to hear that shit. It's just how it works. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys this comment now on Odyssey. If you guys give me a second, I'm going to pull it up real quick. Let me get to the comment. And I did respond to this person. I don't even know if I'm going to show you guys the response, but I'm going to pull it up. So I made this video about a year ago, almost a year ago, about 10 months ago, December 14, 2023. That's when I uploaded it. I was talking about, if I remember correctly, religions, Kim Goguen, if God came down here, if Jesus came down here, what did he come to do? Because people don't know what happened with Jesus, right? People are confused. They think that what the Bible says about Jesus, that's it. There's nothing else, right? That's what most people think. But this person comes and leaves me this comment. And again, I responded to them for sure because I was pretty irritated. Because I was already irritated when I was going to make this video because of the subject. But then I saw this comment. It just made me more irritated. So I decided to respond to this person. And this is what this person said. They said, LOL, you needed external sources, but this is openly written in the Bible. So they come to me arrogantly, laughing. LOL, laughing out loud. This is supposed to be some Bible thumper, right? Somebody that knows the Bible, reads the Bible, supposed to be a good person. At least they think in their little tiny brain that they're a good person. And they come laughing at me. Is that what the Bible teaches? For you to laugh at someone when you're trying to educate them or teach them about God and the Bible? Is that what Christianity teaches? To come and laugh at me? As you're a real humble person, right? And this is the shit that pisses me off. This dumb, moronic, idiotic piece of shit that doesn't know fucking anything is coming and laughing at me because he read one fucking book and he thinks he knows more than me. When I've talked to his God. I've talked to your God. I know your God. So who the fuck are you to come and laugh at me? And I guarantee you've never talked to your God. Yet I have, and you're coming and laughing at me? And then he's talking about external sources because I talked about where I got my information from. I talked about other sources that I've studied and, beyond the earth. Entities that have way more knowledge than this piece of shit does. And he's laughing at me for that. So he thinks he's got me, right? Hey guys, he's got me. He knows more than I do. He won, right? This is the holy man that reads the Bible. What a great guy. Then he says everything that is in the Bible request is, can't even fucking make a proper sentence. Then he says to be nice to each other. So him laughing at me is being nice to me, right? So he's coming at me arrogantly, laughing at me because I'm using other sources other than the Bible to understand the truth of the universe. And he's the good person here. And he's the nice guy, right? And I'm the dick and I am a dick and I don't give a fuck. I'll be a dick to a piece of shit like this. So I'm the asshole because I'm coming back at him and responding to him in the way that I am. And guess what? I own that shit and I don't give a fuck because this guy's nothing. I don't care. He's a nobody. But he's enough of a body for me to crush. That's all he's good for. He's another ant to be stepped on. It is what it is. But these are the people that exist in this world. And this is part of the reason why I have little faith in humanity, because of these motherfuckers like this. What good is this piece of shit? He reads the fucking Bible and that's it? That's all you're good for? You're nothing. But anyways, then he says, if anyone puts the Bible in historical context, this is painfully obvious. So he's being more of a smartass to me, like, well, duh. If you read the Bible and you see the historical context that it has, then obviously this is the truth. You don't need to go find external sources beyond the Bible, LOL, because if you read the Bible, you know everything, and that's all you need. Duh. That's what this motherfucker's saying to me. This is the holy man that's coming to me talking shit. And this is how, the way that I just said that, that's probably how he said it in his mind. That's probably how he talks. But this is the person that's coming to me trying to educate me and teach me. Doesn't even have room temperature IQ to come and talk shit. That's the kind of person that tries to teach people about the Bible. This kind of person. I can't describe how opposite of what's happening here, like how far, it's inconceivable to me how opposite he and I are. He's so far on the other side of the spectrum of knowledge, and I'm so far on the other side, that for him to tell me anything, it's a joke. It's hard for me to get upset. And the only reason why I am a little bit upset is because not only does this keep happening, where these people keep showing up, but the timing of me trying to make this video and then him making this comment a month ago, which is about the last time I made a video before the last one I made, it's mind-boggling that he would put that there. But anyways, that's this person. So let me talk about Kim Goguen now, because I think I beat a dead horse. You guys get the point with this, right? These are the people that are trying to tell people about the Bible, this kind of person. So there you have it. So now let's talk about Kim Goguen a little bit. Now, an issue that I had with Kim Goguen is when I was watching her, and again, I don't know if she still does this, so I can't really speak about it. I can only say from the last time I watched her, she used to say this a lot, and it used to really irritate me. When I first started watching her, she didn't say this, but then something changed, and I think I know the reason why she did it. She started to talk about source as God. So she started to equate source and God as the same thing. Anybody that knows anything about knowledge outside of the earth or beyond the earth knows that God and source are not nowhere near equivalent. But she started to equate them, right? And I believe, this is my own belief, right? This is what I came up with in my head. And I said, this has to be the reason why she's doing this. I believe she's doing it because she wanted to find a way to make a common ground or a connection with people that believe in the Bible, people that are religious. And she knows that religious fanatics and zealots, you're never going to reach them. You're never going to be able to break them out of that Bible God mindset, right? Once they're in that and brainwashed by that, it's over for them. They're done. You're not going to get them out. They're going to have to get themselves out of there. No one's going to convince any person that's brainwashed by the Bible and God or religion that they're wrong. You can't do it. I've tried many times. It only ends in an argument and don't talk to me anymore. That's what it always ends up being. There's only one person in this entire fucking world that I know of that read the Bible, understood the Bible for what the truth was in it, and then he and I can still communicate, and we're pretty good friends. Only one guy that I know that can do that. Other than him, I've never seen anyone else able to do that, and I want to bring that guy on my channel. I'm probably going to try to do that at some point so you guys can hear this guy. But other than him, there hasn't been anyone else. So I believe Kim Goguen knows this, and she's like, you know what? In order to get these religious idiots to listen to me and to understand me, I'm going to have to say God and source are the same. So she's just started saying God. She started to replace source with the word God. And I had a big issue with that. Why? Because you're validating their religion and you're validating their beliefs. So everything that's in their little Bible, in their little book, whatever they believe in, now they think they're right. No, well, see, Kim agrees with us. When that's not what Kim is doing. At least I don't think. I don't think Kim believes in God because she knows who God really is. So I'm like, there's no way that Kim is doing this because she's started to believe in God. I know that's not what's happening. Yet she keeps saying the word God. So me, I'm a realist, right? And I'm not saying Kim is not real. But in this regard, I'm definitely more real than Kim Goguen is. I'm never going to tell you guys to believe in God or believe in any source of power other than yourself. You can believe whatever you want. But I'm never going to tell you, believe in God, believe in source, believe in the universe, believe in creation, believe in whatever. There are even aliens and entities beyond the earth that believe the same thing. They believe in a higher power. And from my understanding, there is an entity or an energy that creates life, creates everything. That's where the universe came from. It came from the Big Bang, which was created by this entity that creates everything. And that's what most people think God is. That's my understanding of it. But the problem that I have with that is that no entity that I know of, that I've ever heard of, no matter how high they were, knows exactly why that is that way. They only know that it's that way. They don't know why it's that way. They don't know why that entity does what it does. They don't know anything else. They just know that something is there doing that. And they don't understand it. So I'm like, okay. So nobody understands what this thing is. Yet everybody worships it. Everybody believes in it. Everybody is scared of it. Everybody praises it. Whatever you want to call it, right? They pray to it. And again, I'd be a liar if I didn't tell you that there's definitely something going on beyond my understanding in terms of this entity, right? I'm not going to tell you that there's nothing there. What I'm going to tell you is that nobody knows exactly what that is and why it's like that. But everyone has a belief of what it is. And everyone thinks they know. So for me, I'm going to believe in myself because I believe that this entity created me and everything else to have its own existence and live as its own universe. So we're all our own universe. We exist together in this universe, but we're all our own universe. And I'll explain what I mean. You can't live somebody else's life. You can only live your own life. So no matter what, you're never going to know everything that someone else knows or have their experiences. You're only going to have your own. And there's no way that you can ever do that. It's impossible. That's why everybody is who they are. We're all our own life, our own universe. And I believe that's the way it was created, purposely, by whatever entity did that, right? But this belief that we're all one and we're all connected and we all belong together, blah, blah. No. If you want to believe that, fine. That's your choice. But everyone should believe in themselves first. That's my belief. Now, you don't have to agree with me, right? You can believe whatever you want. But one thing I'm going to tell you for sure, I'm never going to worship any entity. I'm never going to bow down to any entity. I'm never going to say any entity has power over me. Even if that is true, which nobody knows for sure. People believe that this is how it is, but nobody knows. So again, because Kim Goguen started to equate God and source, I had an issue with that because now you're validating those people's religions and what they think is the truth. When there are a lot of things in those religions that are not true, and we don't even have to go to the highest source, right? We don't even have to go to God or source or creation, whatever you want to call it. But just in those books, there's a lot of lies. So when you start saying God, now you have these people believing, oh, well, we were right all along. And our beliefs are validated by Kim Goguen. It's not the other way around. Maybe some people, right? Maybe some people can see the truth. But for the most part, those people are stuck in those beliefs and they're going to believe that whatever they think is the truth, whatever they studied in that book, whatever they heard in church. And they're just going to say, well, Kim Goguen agrees with us. You see what I'm saying? So that's my issue with that. Instead of them saying, oh, Kim is only doing this because she wants us to understand what she's saying, they're going to do the opposite. And they're just going to say, we were right all along. But anyways, I beat a dead horse. I think you guys get the point. I'm probably going to come back to this subject at some point. There's a lot more to talk about. I have to make a lot of videos and I'm going to talk about some other stuff. But if you like, comment, subscribe, share where you can. Hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.